Hello everyone. Today I'm going to start trigonometry graph. So आज मैं डिस्कस करूंगा trigonometric graph के बारे में. So I'll try to explain both English and Hindi. Okay, so we know that we have a total six trigonometric ratios. We have y equal to sin x. First one is that. So I'm going to explain graphically and other property of sine I'm also going to explain in a graph here. So we know that sine we have some values of sine 0, 30, 45 like that we have. Okay, so first what we have to do, if suppose you don't know the graph how to draw. So whatever we know the basic angles value, try to tabulate this one. Okay, so अगर हमें ग्राफ के बारे में नहीं पता है कि कैसे हम ग्राफ को ड्रॉ करें साइन एक्स का, तो सबसे पहले हम क्या करेंगे, एक टेबल फॉर्म करेंगे. ओके, एंड इन दिस टेबल just list x and y value. So suppose x is the angle we have, so we can consider x 0 means 0 degree angles. Okay, then 30 degree, then 45, 60 and 90, and similarly we can extend it till 180 and so on, we can do like that. Okay, so as we know that sine 0 is 0, sine 30 is 1 by 2, sine 45 1 by root 2, sine 60 is root 3 by 2, and sine 91, sine 120, you know that is lying in the second coordinate, that is equal to, we can say it's a root 3 by 2, and sine 180. So we are getting here. So if you don't know the graph, then you can make a table, or if you know the graph, you can draw direct. So I'm going to draw here two x-axis and y-axis here we have. Okay, so yeah, y-axis and x-axis. As we know that sine value lie between -1 ये हमें पता है कि साइन की वैल्यू मैक्सिमम 1 होती है और मिनिमम हमारी -1 होती है. तो इसको हम बोल सकते हैं कि साइन की वैल्यू हमारी लाई करेगी -1 to 1, means maximum 1 and minimum 1. So what we have to do, just draw a line here that value is equal to 1. Okay, I'm going to draw here line, and similarly one line here I'm going to consider here, that is going to be -1. Okay, so we can do one thing, just put out line here. Okay, this is value 1 for that, because maximum is 1. Okay, so here we have a 1, and similarly here we have a -1. We can do the same concept here. So we can say that from tables, sine 91 means angle, here we have a maximum one when x is 90. So suppose here we have a 90, that is pi by 2 also we can say. 90 means pi by 2, we can say in a radian pi by 2. Okay, and we are getting maximum, and 0 we are getting sine 0 0, and pi also we are getting. So your graph will be like that. Okay, similarly if you're going sine 1 is 0, sine 180 is 0, if you're going in third quadrant, so again you will get a p pi by 2 here, and at p pi by 2 sine this becomes negative because third quadrant sine is negative. So again we can do like that, and at 2 pi sine becomes. So we are getting sine graph here and lie between 0 to here. Yes, angle 0 to pi here we can say time period also, and we can see the maximum value is the 1 and the minimum here we have this one. The graph is going to repeat the same here. You can use the same, you can extend the graph for others values like that we have. So on we can do like that. Sine here we have a 3 pi, then 4 pi, same here we can do. Suppose we have a minus pi, here we have, and a minus pi by 2 we have a -1, so we can like that, we can draw a graph like that. Okay, and here pi by 2, so on so on. Okay. This is a basic graph of sine. What the importance of this sign? So definitely, yes, we have a concept by seeing the graph here. What we have a concept? Suppose we know that sine 30 is we have a 1 by 2. We have already. And suppose we are going to use sine 50, 150. What the value of sine 150? Okay, so we know that sine 30 is 1 by 2. So 30 going to be like here because here we are 90 degree. And if you can see here, we have a 30 degree. We are getting here 1 by 2. Half of this value. Okay, 1 by 2. So what we have to do here, just draw the parallel line here. Okay, to draw a parallel line here, we can see that this graph going to intersect. This line going to intersect. ये ग्राफ हमारे बहुत सारे पॉइंट ग्राफ पर बहुत सारे पॉइंट पर इंटरसेक्ट करेगा. तो इसका मीनिंग क्या होगा अगर ये इंटरसेक्ट करेगा? तो जो भी हमारा एंगल यहाँ पर मिलेगा, जैसे यहाँ 30 डिग्री 5/6 हमारा है 30 और इधर हमारा इंटरसेक्टेड. तो राइट साइड से 30 डिग्री अगर इधर हम बैक आएंगे तो 180 माइनस 30 becomes 150. Okay, so we can say that here we have 0 to 30 5/6 here we have, and the same value will get here pi to 30 less pi less than 30 here, that will be 150 degree. Okay, and yes, definitely we can say that 150 degree we can say. 5 pi by 6, that also. Okay, so we can say that the sine pi by 6 and sine pi by 6 both having same value 1 by 2. Similarly, next we'll get the same value after 2 pi whatever we have and before 3 pi. Okay, so what the concept here and why we are using this? Suppose we can write sine x equal to 1 by 2. Then what the x values? We'll get the general solutions. Okay, so we are getting pi by 6, pi by 6. Again, here will get 2 pi plus pi by 6 here. This point is nothing but 2 pi plus pi by 6. And this point will get 3 pi minus pi by 6. So on you will get like that. So from this we can get the general value, what the x going to be. And one more basic concept, suppose we know that sine 180 is a sine, what we can say, this is equal to sine pi by 6. Okay, so we have a relations here, x becomes, we can get here n pi. We can see here we are getting pi 0 plus angle here pi by 6, here pi minus pi by 6, here 2 pi plus pi by 6, here 3 pi minus pi by 6. So what we are getting, n pi plus minus 1 power n pi by 6. This is the general value for this. We have a sign x equal to 1 by 2, x will be like that. Just we put here, we can put n 0, 1, 2, 3, you will get all the value here. We can see. Suppose n is 0. What we are getting, x is the pi by 6. So this value we are getting. This value we are getting. Okay, suppose n is the 1. So what we are getting, x becomes pi minus pi by 6. So pi minus pi by 6 here we are getting. Similarly, we can increase the n value, n is 2, so we'll get here this 2 pi plus. So n equal to 2, what we will get here, x becomes 2 pi plus pi by 6. So on you will get. Okay, so this is the general value. If we have a sine x equal to 1 by 2, then x becomes. And based on this also we can write one formula we have, sine x is equal to sine alpha, then x becomes n pi minus n pi plus minus 1 power n into alpha. Alpha is the angle that going to be with respect to the first quadrant, we have to get this alpha. अल्फा की जो भी वैल्यू होगी वो फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट के रिस्पेक्ट में हम कंसीडर करेंगे. जैसे हमने ये पाई 6 किया, कोई भी वैल्यू अगर हम लेंगे तो पहले हम अल्फा की वैल्यू 0 to 90 के बीच में कंसीडर कर और हम ये n की वैल्यू को ये जनरल वैल्यू हम लिख सकते हैं. सो दिस इज बेसिक साइन ग्राफ, not for only the sin x 1 by 2, whatever value we have that we can get the general value. Suppose here we have some value, we suppose this value is going to be root 3 by 2, like 0.86. If you draw the again parallel line, you'll get the same different angles here. Okay, what we are getting here, the same value we are getting here. So again we'll get the general value. Okay, so this basic sine graph. So इस साइन ग्राफ से हम बहुत सारे प्रॉपर्टीज साइन के बारे में स्टडी कर सकते हैं. जैसे नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल है जस्ट लाइक ए डोमेन. What is my domain of the sine x? What the range of the sine? So domain, as we know that domain is nothing but all this value of x at which this function is completely defined. Means we have to pick all the x value at this value sine going to define. Define means there is a definite value. Okay. So if you are going to use the sine x value here, sine x, where is going to define? So we can see sine is defining all cases. We can see the graph. In a graph, uh, there is no such a point at which the sine not going to define. So we can say that the domain of sine x is all real number. All real number. All real number means you know that we have a fraction, so we have integers, so we have whole numbers. Everything's come under the row except complex number. So all real number means all the value we have. We can see in the graph also. Every point we are getting the values. Every point. There is no point we are not getting. Everywhere you are getting the value. You can draw. You can see the line. Okay. So this is the basic concept of sine. And what the range means output corresponding domain. We have a domain and corresponding output how much we are getting, that is the range. So range we can say maximum one and minimum one. So range of sine is, you can say that range value is minus 1, because sine value like to minus 1. So you have a range. Similarly, if you're going for the cos x graph, okay, so we know that cos value also lie between minus 1 to 1. Okay, so again we can say cos is lie between minus 1 to 1. And if you draw sine as cos graph, so nothing to do, just what we have to do, if you know the cos sine graph, we can draw the cos graph also. And how we are going to draw? Just basic concept. We know that we have one properties. If you are going to shift sine graph by 90 degree, that pi by 2 will get the cos. Sine pi by 2 plus x is going to be uh, cos x, or minus also we can use. That's not a problem. Okay. Sine x minus pi by 2, if you are going to use, so we will get cos cos x, or pi by 2 minus x also, both. Yes, we can use. Okay. So nothing to do, just whatever we have a sine graph, just shift this one 90 degree. So sine maximum and 90 at this point cos going to be 0. This is a basic concept I'm going to explain here. So and sine 0 is 0, so cos 0 is a maximum one. Okay, so cos graph is like that. This is the blue color graph I'm drawing. Y is equal to cos x, we can see. Okay, and here we have pi, so cos pi is a minus 1, so we'll get here. The same graph, yes, we can see here. Yes, just shifting 90. 2 pi sine 2 pi 0, cos 2 pi is a maximum 1. So we can see the graph. Cos 0 1, cos 2 pi also 1. We can repeat the same here. Okay, so differences is graph of sine and cos is nothing but we can see the angle is pi by 2. But the difference is pi by 2. Okay, and other properties are same. Domain, range, domain of cos x is again we can say all real number. All real number, and a range will be the same, minus 1 to minus 1. So there is a similarity in sine and cos. Now important point about how to draw the tan graph. Suppose y equal to we have a tan x. So first we have to know where tan not going to be defined. So we know that x is a pi by 2. So tan pi by 2 is an infinite value. So at pi by 2 is not defined. Similarly, if you are going to use x is a minus pi by 2. So y equal to tan of minus pi by 2 is a minus infinite. It's also going to be not infinite. So what we have to do in this is just draw the x-axis here, or x-axis and y-axis, and draw parallel line to the y-axis at pi by 2 and minus pi by 2. pi by 2 and minus pi by 2. What we are seeing here, we can see the here tan 90 we have infinite. Infinite is at this point your graph will be approaching infinite. Okay, it's going to infinite. Infinite, you know that this is the value of infinite. It's not going to define here. It's not going to stop, and it's going to so on so on. And similar negative side also. And if you're going to use here, you can see x is 0. So tan 0, y equal to tan 0 is 0. So by putting x 0 here get tan 0, it means your graph going to pass through to the origin. Here is starting origin and it's going to infinite once we are going to increase the angle. अगर हम एंगल को इंक्रीज करेंगे दैट्स टुवर्ड्स द पाई बाई 2 की तरफ तो ये हमारा एंगल इंक्रीज करेगा एंड टुवर्ड्स द इंफिनिट मूव करेगा. सो व्हाट वी हैव टू डू जस्ट draw like that. Your graph not going to be cross this line. Okay, your graph not going to cross the pi by 2 line, just going to try to touch. And same here, it's not going to cross the minus pi by 2. So your graph lies in minus pi by 2. This is for the one intervals. We can repeat the same. We can do the same here. Suppose here we have a pi and another is theta by 2 because theta by 2 again you get the infinite value and sin pi 0. So again we have to draw the same. We have to repeat the graph. Just like that. So it will go on like that, whatever we have the value. Okay. So in this case, what we can say, what the domain is. So domain is, we can see at every pi by 2, graph is not other than is defined. Okay, we can see in graph at 3 pi by 2, we are getting infinite. Pi by 2 also getting infinite. Okay, so we have to write the domain is equal to all real number except 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. So your domain is not going to define here. Okay. Similarly, this graph also we can use like a sign. We got the sign x equal to pi by 2 some value. We have then we got the general value. So here also we can use the same. Okay, what we have to do here? You can take any value. Okay, what we are getting? Got here. Suppose this is the alpha value we are getting. Value is some we are getting, and angle is alpha. Okay, 0 then alpha. Here we have again graph will go intersect. Okay, after this pi we are getting. So 0 plus alpha, pi plus alpha, you'll get the next 2 pi plus alpha, so on, so on. So we can use the same. Tan x is equal to tan alpha. So what will be the x equal to general value? Because you are 0 plus alpha, pi plus alpha. So we can write in pi plus alpha. This is general value. If tan x is equal to tan alpha, we can. Okay. So domain and the basic property. So other property also we can done this one. And from this graph, and if you are going to apply this concept integration, then also we have the limit going to change here pi by 2. So pi by 2 limit going to change. So we have to use this concept in also. We can use this one here integration and also other concept also. So remaining things I'll discuss later. In this today I'm going to wind up my class, and next class we'll do some more concept here.